What's going on, guys? Back for another vlog. Today is probably not going to be anything too special. It is very early. It is 9:30 in the morning, and I just got back from the dentist, where if you're following me on Twitter, you probably noticed that I became mayor of the dentist office today. And it's weird because I've only checked in like 2, maybe 3 times to that place, so clearly they don't get much Foursquare love. But regardless, mayor is, at least just was in the house. So, but maybe one day I'll become mayor of something a little more important, I guess. Or, well, actually, the dentist is pretty important. You know what I mean. But regardless, I despise the dentist, not the guy, not a dentist in particular, just the dentist as a whole. I've had tons of work done on my teeth in the past, and I kind of consider myself to have been tortured by the dentist. So I don't particularly like it. Even just the cleaning, I hate going. So that's something that's just kind of burned in my mind now. So what I'm going to do now is that to balance off something that I hate, I'm going to go do something that I love, and that is go to Sheetz and get me some vanilla white hot chocolate. It's going to be pretty banging. I found like the perfect recipe at Sheetz. It's basically just white hot chocolate, and then you get like a little squirt, like the vanilla shot, a shot of vanilla flavoring. So it's pretty banging, I can't lie. So yeah, I'm off to do that, and then I'm actually off to school. You can probably sort of see it in the frame here. I have my book bag over there. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my day. Nothing too exciting, but 9:30, got to balance off the dentist. Hot chocolate acquired, and also a free donut. And for those of you wondering, I'm really not much of a coffee person. I like my caffeine cold, which is why I drink tons of Hackintosh juice, aka Mountain Dew. Pretty much any pop, though. I mean, there's no pop that I hate. Of course, I call it pop. I'm sure many of you people call it soda, but regardless, I call it pop. But yeah, like I'm not a coffee drinker at all. I mean, I like some espresso, maybe some kind of drinks from Starbucks and stuff, but just straight up coffee, I've never been a fan. So that's why I got myself some hot chocolate here. And in case you couldn't tell by now, the video quality, I did sell my iPhone 5. I am back on my iPhone 4S for now. Once again, if you didn't see the video, I didn't sell the 5 because I didn't like it. I sold the 5 because I paid the off-contract price, that ridiculous like $800 for it. And especially around the holidays, I just felt kind of, I don't want to say greedy, but I just felt that I would rather, spend that money on people like my friends and family rather than just having an iPhone 5 in my pocket. And I am actually due for an upgrade this summer, so I'm really considering looking into an Android device. Devices like the Galaxy Note 2 and S3, those are awesome devices as they are, but by the time summer rolls around, there's probably going to be totally new flagship phones, and I really can't wait to see what those offer. So I really am thinking about switching over to an Android device, and then if I don't like it, I can always come back to my Apple iPhone. But regardless, it'll be tons of great content for you guys, and hopefully it'll put to rest some of the the fanboy comments that I get on a daily basis. So I mean, Android, it's definitely getting a lot better. But in terms, I like iPhones because of the whole Apple ecosystem. It syncs with iTunes automatically. As soon as I get home and plug my phone in, it could be with my the charging cable next to my bed. It doesn't even have to be plugged into my computer. Once I plug it in anywhere, it starts to sync automatically. That kind of stuff is awesome. That with iCloud just makes for a great experience. I also want to talk to you guys about the Mufasa build. I do want to say that the machine is up and running. OS X does run pretty well on it, but the problem I'm having right now is with the memory. It's really weird. If you watch the build live, which by the way, I don't know if I'll have the build on my YouTube channel this week, simply just because next week is finals week. This is the final week of classes, so I have a lot of projects to do. I have a lot of work, a lot of studying to do, so I want to make sure I do good on these finals. I've done pretty good this entire semester, so I don't want to just kind of throw it all away in the last week, so I may have to just postpone the build just a couple of days on my channel. So definitely it will be uploaded with all the live fails and everything you guys know and love. So don't worry about that. That will be on the channel. But regardless, like I said, about the memory, it's really weird. If you watch the build live, I did install 48 gigabytes of memory. It's 12 RAM sticks 4 gigabytes each. So that's a total of 48 gigabytes. And for some reason, whenever I boot up the computer, it will randomly see 32 gigs, it'll randomly see 40 gigs, but rarely ever the full 48. And I've tested each stick, each DIMM individually on my computer, and they all work just fine. I put all 12, on my board, all 6. I put 6 in at a time, and it does equal 24. And I tried the other 6 sticks, and it equaled 24. So all the RAM sticks are good. And I believe all the slots on the motherboard are good too, on the SR2. So I think it's just something with the BIOS, some kind of a weird setting. And I've been looking online for a long time already. And I ripped Mufasa apart. I took the coolers off. I made sure there was no bent processor pins or anything like that. Everything in there looks perfect, just as it should be. So then I put the cooler back on. I made sure it wasn't too tight. It was just kind of snug on all 4 screws on each cooler. They're all snug. So I'm really not quite sure what could be the problem here. If all the memory looks fine, and I made sure that there's no CPU pins, there's not too much pressure on the CPU or anything like that. So I'm thinking that it's something with the BIOS. I have tried to reflash an older version, and I say older because there was a recommended BIOS version on Tony Mac for this board, and so I tried that one, but still no dice. So I'm really not sure. If you have any suggestions at all, there's a link down there in the description to a forum post on the EVGA forums that I posted. So go ahead and go to town on that. And if you have any suggestions, please let me know, because otherwise, for some crazy reason, we may not be able to see all the RAM all the time, which I find really weird. But regardless, I'll keep you guys posted on that. And like I said, look out for the live build once school's out of my hair for the next couple of weeks. After this finals week, then we'll be all good there. So, like I said, stick around the channel for that, and I hope you guys can offer a helping hand. So I think that's going to do it for today's vlog. I apologize for not getting to any of your guys' questions today. This was actually a totally unplanned vlog. I didn't know that I'd be doing this until I was kind of sitting down in the office chair in the dentist, and I was like, you know what, I'll do a vlog today. So I really didn't anticipate this, but thank you guys very much for watching. If you do have any questions or anything like that, either comment below or reply me on Twitter, and use the hashtag RocheVlog, RocheVlog, one word, and I will hopefully answer that question if I find that it fits the vlog, things like that. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm at CPUKid on Twitter. Also be sure to check out RocheTechnology.com and at RocheTechnology on Twitter. Stick around for that Mufasa build. It's going to be a beast. If you don't know about it, dual Xeon, fully Hackintosh compatible. More details on that. Help with that RAM issue if possible. And thank you guys for watching.